I forgot how much I love Christmas. Did I forget? No. Did I forget how much I love my decorations? Yes. Hi, welcome to my channel, The Host and Homemaker. My name is Lauren Dawn, and today I'm inviting you to decorate for Christmas with me and my family. I'm really excited about this video and really excited to share this moment with you all. I know it may be a little early for some to decorate for Christmas, but decorating before Thanksgiving has been something that my family has always done. And so I am decorating for Christmas before Thanksgiving, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I started off by making some gluten-free pancakes, but I wanted to add a little Christmas flair. So I took some cookie cutters. I got these off of Amazon and made them into little Christmas trees. I didn't make all the pancakes Christmas trees, but I thought I'd just do a little flair of Christmas. And of course, we have to have coffee. I actually got those coffee mugs with the red stripes on it from a thrift store. I think they were $1 each, and I've been so excited to use them. They're the brand Threshold from Target, and I thought this was the perfect moment to get them out. So now it is time to collect all the fall things in the home and put them away until next year. I love fall, and I feel like I've done a lot of fall here on YouTube, but I'm really excited to start doing some Christmas content. Fall is the wonderful season right before Christmas that kind of prepares our hearts for Christmas, just the waiting and seeing the change and preparing our hearts to be grateful, and then really focusing on what Christmas really is. It's just a great way to ring in the Christmas season, but we are putting it away until next year, so saying goodbye to all the little pumpkins and all the little leaves and my favorite things this year, which were the apples. All right, so here are my Christmas decorations. This big red metal bow, I have 2 of them. I got them from Hobby Lobby this season. They were such a good price, but I'm putting them on my pillars outside on my porch, which I will show you in a different video, but I'm really excited to use those. I recently cleaned my attics with my husband because I wanted this day to not be stressful because I couldn't get to my Christmas decorations. So we actually have a newly clean and organized and decluttered attic. Just getting out the decorations gave me such joy in my heart. I could have just gotten them out, put them in my room, and stared at them in boxes and felt perfectly just fine and happy about it. Just getting out the decorations that have been stored up for a year that you literally haven't laid eyes on, it's just like Christmas morning itself. You forget what you have, and really that is my biggest tip. Before you go to the store and buy anything, make sure that you go through and decorate your house with what you have first, because there were things I thought I needed to buy this year and I literally had them in my containers. Christmas is one of those moments that I am so glad just exists. I'm so glad that God has given us the gift of Christmas and the joy of Christmas. The color combination of red and green is a gift. Ornaments, trees, it's all just a gift that the Lord gives us at this time of year. It's just a gift in itself. Ooh, I forgot how much I love Christmas. Did I forget? No. Did I forget how much I love my decorations? Yes. I know Christmases physically look different for everybody. Some people get beautiful white Christmases, and some people live on sandy beaches with absolutely no wintry weather at all. But whatever Christmas looks like for you, there is such a gift in Christmas alone, without the decorations, without the red and green, and that is just simply the birth of Christ. All right, so it is out of the attics, it is upstairs, and now we have to take it all downstairs. So this transition must happen, but I've got my little ornaments and my little tree and my big tree, and I'm just ready to get inside these little containers so that I can decorate my home. I'm really, really, really excited about decorating. And here is my very impressive professional shot, the ornament. I would say that this is about the only time that I just absolutely love my house being a mess is when it is just full of containers of Christmas decorations that I haven't gotten into. I just absolutely love it. I also love when my daughter makes a mess on the floor with her toys, but I quickly clean those up. For this, I just relish in all of it. So we do have an artificial tree. It's pre-lit and it's 7.5 foot. My sweet husband is quite sensitive to all things green. His allergies are quite sensitive, so we cannot go get a real tree. And that's actually never been something that my family has done. We've always had an artificial tree, so that is what we've always done, and that's what feels like Christmas to me. So I don't know if you're like this, but fluffing the tree is the most important part of putting your tree together. I could be proven wrong, but I think it's the most important part, especially when you have an artificial tree. My sweet husband actually went outside to capture this shot, and I just absolutely loved it. Just him taking the video of me fluffing the tree from the outside. It was like the whole world was kind of watching, or it had kind of paused and stopped while I was working on this tree. It's probably my favorite shot I've ever gotten on video, but it just felt very vintage and nostalgic to me. I'm curious as to know, how long does it take you to fluff your tree if you use an artificial one? I felt like I genuinely took so long doing this, but I also didn't want to rush it. For the first time while fluffing the tree, I was completely fine taking as long as it needed to make sure that it looked right. I think here I was actually making fun of myself because I was taking so long, and then it kind of just turned into us looking like cats going after a tree. All right, so here is the first container opened, and this is my favorite thing about our tree, I think, is this wicker collar. I think if you have watched any of my other videos, you kind of know that I really do love wicker. Wicker just tends to add a little bit of that vintage flair that I love adding to my decorations, especially at Christmas. I love using vintage pieces that make the house look very nostalgic and kind of that old-fashioned Christmas. I would definitely say that my style is a blend of vintage and modern. I love incorporating vintage pieces into my home, but I definitely can't say like my whole home is vintage and antiqued. Maybe I'm an overthinker, but when I pull these decorations out, it's hard to believe that these decorations have been sitting in my attic, unopened, unlooked at for an entire year. And I'm like, what have I done in an entire year where my life looks different than it did just last year when I put these decorations up? It's just wonderful to be able to use decorations kind of as timestamps as we go about our life. And these videos were just the most precious to me. My daughter was playing with these little plastic balls and discovering the Christmas lights. Last Christmas, she was way too little to even really understand anything that was going on, but this year she is so into it. She loves the music. She loves the lights on the trees. She loves playing with the little plastic ornaments and throwing them across the floor. It's just absolutely magical. Here I am taking off my white pillows that last me all season, and I actually am replacing them for Christmas. I use these white pillows for every season except for Christmas, so I am really excited to change things up actually with the pillow game. The green pillows that look like quilts and the pillows that have the little red berries, the little red holly berries, I actually got those from Walmart last year. I was having a really hard time finding what I wanted, and I don't often just go with the trends that are in Target per se. I really like to find what I like, and I was having a really hard time finding it anywhere. I couldn't find it on Amazon, and then I came across these pillows and were like, that's it, I love those, and I'm so happy that I found them. I'm putting a garland on the TV stand, and I put some lights in it that were battery operated. They can go on a timer and they have different settings, and then I also added some red berries that I'll show. One of my favorite things right now is this little basket of ornaments. I'm keeping this under my tree this year, and I think it is such an easy way to give a little bit of that vintage flair if you want to do that. It was so easy and really inexpensive. One of my favorite things to do this year is tying ribbon almost around anything that I can. So this is a little wreath that is on my daughter's door, and I just have a spool of ribbon and I am cutting and tying ribbon on things myself. I was considering buying pre-tied bows, and then I was like, I know how to cut a bow and I'm just gonna do it myself, and it was a lot cheaper. On my floating shelves, I put my Bing Crosby record that I got at a thrift store probably 10 years ago. I have never actually played this on a real record player, but I would love to one day. And then for my wicker baskets, I am filling it with some pine. I mixed 2 different kinds of pines, and I really would like to get some more of that real looking pine. And then I'm adding the red berries. I'm using these red berries throughout my house. Like I did for fall, I really do like being consistent throughout the house, but red and green is very consistent throughout my house, so it really isn't that hard. Really loved my fall wreath being over my mirror and wanted to do it again, and I actually had an extra Christmas wreath, so I am putting this Christmas wreath on my mirror. For my blanket ladder, this is where we put our stockings. We don't have a fireplace or a mantle in our home, so putting our stockings somewhere that is fun and visible was really important to me, and this blanket ladder has been such a fun way to hang our stockings. Between our 2 chairs, I am hanging this picture that my mom got me. It's of this vintage Santa, and I just absolutely loved it. On this end table, I always keep this white picture that I got from an antique store, or actually my sister bought it for me from an antique store. But instead of putting some florals in it, I had an extra Christmas tree that had a base, so I filled it up with some paper towels so that it wouldn't fall over and that it would be tall enough, and put it in there and then tied it off with a little bow. Something I absolutely love is pinstripes, and these pillows were just absolutely perfect. Me and my husband were gifted these around our wedding, and these are probably one of my favorite things to get out each year. And this year for my coffee table, I really wanted to do something totally different. We have this Bible that we also were given for our wedding, and I wanted to open it up to Luke 2 and actually make this the center of our home, a center of our living room where we always come together. Luke 2 is the birth of Christ, and I just really felt like this year I wanted to do even a little bit more about centering our home, our physical home, around that this year. Over on my TV stand, I have placed this nativity scene, and then I just put some candles around it to give it a little bit more glow. I really love how simple this nativity scene is. Over in one of my wicker baskets, I'm leaving the white blanket that I had there for fall, but I'm replacing those fall stems with some, I think these are olive branches actually, and some red berries. So over on my coffee bar, I am putting this lovely picture that I found at Target this year. I didn't know I didn't have anything like it, but I absolutely fell in love with it. It looked so vintage, and I knew that I wanted to put it somewhere in my home. And then in my container, I found this little vase full of Christmas florals that looked almost identical to the picture that I bought at Target. And then I'm grabbing all of my Christmas mugs that I want to display and putting it on my tree mug. I still wanted my coffee bar to appear not cluttered, so I got all the coffee mugs I thought would look good together, and they actually kind of all had this white base to it, so I really liked the way that it ended up looking. For my table centerpiece, I'm using this beautiful vase that has those red stripes at the bottom that I kind of use throughout my house, and I'm putting some red eucalyptus and some red berries, using my cutting board I got from the thrift shop, this little kitchen towel, and this beautiful vintage antiqued bell that I got from Hobby Lobby. On my floating shelves, I decided to leave the antique broom, but put together this little arrangement with this glass jar that I got from an antique shop. These florals were from the dollar store and tied a very thin ribbon around it. And then on the bottom one, I'm adding this little jar and filled it with those soft peppermints. Thought this was a super easy and inexpensive way to decorate shelves. I absolutely love my bathroom this year. I feel like it's the most vintage room in the whole house. I got this tree from Hobby Lobby. It was on clearance for $11 because it was immediately broken when they were unloading the Christmas stuff. And I put it in this little basket that I got from the thrift shop, and it just gave the absolute perfect look that I wanted. These towels I got from Target, and then I am adding this little vase to my little cutting board stand, and then this little sweet easel that I got from a thrift shop. In my kitchen, I have this sweet little peg rack that I got for $1 at the thrift store, and I'm adding Christmas mugs to it. I've anchored it in the wall so it's not going to come out or anything, but I'm adding a red, white, and green one just because I really love the true red and greens all throughout the house for Christmas. Have all the different Meyers for all the different seasons. So I saved this from last year, so I'm just replacing my old fall ones with the pine ones. Again, I really love tying ribbon around almost anything. So for the cutting boards, I just decided to add a little bit of a Christmas flair by tying a red ribbon around them. And then I added a red kitchen towel. This crock usually has flowers in it, but I wanted to do something a little bit more Christmassy, so I had an extra Christmas tree and I decided to put it in there, and I thought it just turned out so fun. And I have another cutting board hanging on the wall that I tied a ribbon around, and I just absolutely love the cutting boards with the red ribbons. Over here, I'm adding another stem that I just had to my lovely kettle that I love using all year long. I think my mom got me this really large pack of kitchen towels, so I've just kind of been putting them all throughout the house. And then this little oven mitt that I got from Hobby Lobby, I think last year. And out of all the things that I've tied ribbon around so far, this was by far my favorite. I have these two little candle sconces in my home, and I just decided to add a little bit of a Christmas flair by adding a red ribbon, and it just made the home feel so warm and very Christmassy with not a lot of effort. And now we are done for the night, and we are just cleaning up before we sit down and finally enjoy our lovely Christmas decorations that we've been working so hard on all day long. We were definitely planning to decorate the Christmas tree tonight, but it's gotten a little late, and honestly, I was perfectly okay with waiting because with decorating a little bit early and kind of getting it all done very early before Thanksgiving, pushing off the Christmas tree gives me something to look forward to. And honestly, I love a Christmas tree without ornaments. Now, I love eventually putting them on, but I love just admiring the tree when it's just the lights and the tree. It is so pretty, so I am totally okay with waiting. Today was truly my favorite day ever of decorating for Christmas. It was just so fun to have my daughter alert and enjoying what me and my husband were doing. I think I'm going to continue to kind of decorate doing some handmade things, so I'm excited to put that on my channel, and I just hope that you are getting excited for the Christmas season. It is truly my favorite season of all year. I know that it's a lot of people's favorite season, but I also know that it can come with grief and sadness, especially when you've lost those that you love, or different things that maybe have happened around Christmas time that don't feel as joyful. But I hope that this Christmas you can find the peace and the joy of Christ and his birth and all that his birth means to us and the hope that we have because of it. Thank you so much for joining me and my family while we decorated for Christmas this year. I genuinely would love to know what your favorite family tradition or memory is, so if you want to leave me a comment below, I would absolutely love to read them. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.